Hello, hello. We're back with another episode of Live with Joe and Cody. Real talk with Joe and Cody. I
Real
always say
talk. Here
live.
we go.
Isn't it live
It
with
is live.
it used to be like real live with Regis and Kathy Lee. You
Yes.
remember that?
Oh, man.
So maybe that's where I'm getting it from.
Childhood memory right
I
there.
haven't
I
seen it in
forgot
years,
about
but it's like
that.
it's so ingrained in my head. I always say
Yeah.
live, but it's actually real talk because we talk real estate and really talk to each other.
Yeah.
So, hey,
Sometimes it
Cody.
has nothing to do with real estate.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not going to right
Sometimes
now. Well, it kinda does. I
right.
have some things. So if you have seen it, if you're sitting on the edge of your seat looking at all of my Facebook posts and, just ready to learn real estate and things like that, you may have noticed on Facebook, I wasn't posting anything on my business page. Do you wanna know why?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you anyway, so I'm glad you said
'Cause
yeah. Um,
okay.
basically, Facebook thought that I was impersonating myself on my business page. I still don't know how. I still don't know
Oh.
how it works. Like obviously they have a pretty sensitive system of like impersonating someone on Facebook. So basically they thought that I was impersonating myself on my business page and suspended my business page. Well, if you
Mm.
guys have ever been on this, um, Facebook does not have a great way of talking to anyone. It is not a like customer service based system. And so they normally, and when I did all my research with Claude and ChatGPT and all that, they basically, this is an issue that lots of business people deal with. But went through all this stuff to try to appeal and try to find some random emails to appeal and tell them it's me impersonating myself and it's not, it's someone else. And unfortunately, it basically says once it doesn't, basically, if you have an option to appeal, you can appeal. If there's no option to appeal, you're basically suspended, and
Really?
you can't. There's no. Your page is done. Like you just can't post
No
anymore.
way.
You can't do anything. So, um, I just got a new. I deleted that Facebook page. I think I have it worded properly to where I don't get, you know, suspended again. But if you do get a message from me on Facebook, it is a legit message on my personal and my work one to join my Facebook business page because now it's new. I have to start fresh.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but I lost all the old stuff, of all the old posts and things like that. But
Yeah.
whatever. I'm looking into apparently you can get meta verified or whatever and be all cool with the
Uh-huh.
blue check mark and stuff like that. So I might do that to kind of I think that mitigates some of these issues. So
So they thought that you were impersonating yourself on your business page.
they were saying that I was impersonating. Well, I don't know because it's again, I couldn't talk to anyone. There's no one there.
Yeah.
It just basically says their policy and why I got suspended for impersonation. So the only thing I can find is that maybe it thought I was impersonating my personal page. My business page was impersonating my personal page. Um, I don't know. So
That's
went
weird.
through months of that and kind of figuring that out. I don't think I posted on Facebook business page since November or something, but I thought I could appeal it. I put in emails to various, you can go down these rabbit holes of who to appeal to and all that stuff, and ended up not working. So thank you, Facebook, for doing that
Wow.
and ruining my business and
Right.
my family. So
Just my
no,
livelihood,
not
that's
that
all.
not that extreme. But if you do get things on Facebook to join my business page, it's legit. So join it, at least until
Wow.
I get suspended again.
Yeah,
So
no kidding. I had a not quite so similar, but similar enough that I'll bring it up. I'd been getting like notifications and emails from Meta saying that I needed to verify my age, that I needed to verify that I was over 13 years old. And I'm like, oh, whatever. This is probably one of those phishing things where it's like
yeah,
I have to
yeah, for
click a
sure.
link, and
Yeah,
why would they ever send that to me? And then it was like, you have
it's
X amount of
legit.
days before your account's suspended. And then sure enough, it got suspended. And you have to like send in, you have to either do like a transaction with a debit card or send in photo ID, and then it takes like a week for it to verify that you are who you are and your age. I was like, how are we supposed to at what
I
point? I
know.
mean, I've had this, Facebook account since I don't know when, long time ago.
I know.
I gotta verify I'm
It's
over
crazy.
13 now?
It's
I don't
crazy.
know what to believe
Um,
anymore.
I'm hoping the Meta verified badge or whatever can help this out. Obviously, how like there's been a lot of talk out ChatGPT and all these AIs like overly agree with you. They're like, "Oh, you're right."
Yeah.
And you can say something completely different. They're like, "Yes, you're right." And
Uh-huh.
so it was basically when I brought up that, I've been suspended and for impersonating myself, they're like, "This is a common issue with many real estate agents." It was like trying to
Oh,
make me
man.
feel better about it, the whole thing. I
Uh-huh.
was like, "Are you
You're not
lying
the
or
only
is this
one.
actually a thing or is this just me?" So,
Right?
um I hope no one else is dealing with it because it is super frustrating, but it's not the end of the world. I think hopefully I get all of you followers back into the
Yeah.
fold. Instagram was saying I was fine.
Huh. Well, and it's like you
Whatever.
said, it's not the end of the world, but it's also a pain because you have all those
For sure.
archived videos, you have
Yep.
all the friends, you have all that content that you've worked to create to put on there
Yeah.
that,
Gone.
when you're especially the way that I look at it from my standpoint, if I was in that situation, it's like that's a bummer because now when somebody goes to that business page, it's going to look like you just started it,
Yeah.
right? As
Like all
opposed
my
to looking back and
reviews,
go, "Oh man, he's
everything.
got
Yeah.
yeah,
It's all gone.
tons of
So,
tons of reviews,
yeah.
content." So, did you have to
Yeah.
cancel it or did you just have to start a new one?
I had to delete it. Yeah. I had to delete a Facebook, like a complete business page and then start a new business page, which I just did. So, anyways, go to the business page and just leave great reviews, even if you
Right?
have never worked with me. Let's build this thing. It's like a GoFundMe
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
Joe.
right?
No, it's not a big deal. But social media obviously is my thing, so it's like it is kind of frustrating. But the other ones are all working and been working. So what are you gonna do? But pivot and move on. So it's a little life
Adapt.
lesson of like you can't get down on it. You just got to pick yourself back up.
That's right. Get that blue
Yeah.
check mark.
Oh, what else was I gonna say? Coming out with a new. Oh, I just talked about this as a breaking news for you just before we came on. But
Mhm.
seller's calculator. I'm creating our own net sheet for our sellers. So basically, if you're a seller and you're like, hey, how much would I come away with after all the fees and all the, sell my house for this and do all this and pay you agents all the money that you get paid and what do I come out with? And we're building a calculator on that. Super easy, easy to
Nice.
print off, easy to type in numbers, easy to adjust numbers as you talk. That is coming out soon. So yeah, we're just kind of like trying to figure out good things for clients.
Yeah. Wow.
And speaking of sellers, net sheets and closing costs and things like that, maybe we can reiterate now that we're in this little kind of, well, we've been in this weird market forever, but um, what kind of let's go over again just to tell everyone again what the difference is in when you're a buyer coming in and you ask for closing costs versus a buyer coming in and ask for money off the top of the house and how that differs, and we can talk in generalities just so people know, but it isn't a one for one. It isn't a like 20K off the price of the house changes your payment or anything. 20K versus 20K closing costs. So go ahead, Cody, you're the expert.
Okay. So, tell me that one more time just to make sure I say the right
Well, I
words
guess
here.
like the difference of, a buyer comes in and says, "Hey, we want to take 20K off the price of the house because that'll give us a discount." We're in a good position to kind of ask the seller for, 20K off the type of the house. And then, they don't even think that 20K in seller's credit versus 20K off the house is significantly
Mm.
different
Oh,
in
yeah.
certain ways, right? Does that make
Yes.
more sense?
Yes.
We get
Yes.
into this nerd talk and it just like I flows out of my mouth and then it's like,
I know.
no
Well,
one
I
no one
thought I
stops
knew.
me and everyone's like, I don't know what. And when Cody doesn't even know what I'm saying, that's a bad thing. But hopefully I cleared it up. Did I clear it up?
Yes, it
Okay.
does. And
Okay.
and
Now
that is
go
a
on, you
that is
expert.
I yes. Yeah, that's a big one because $20,000 off the purchase price, that might be great. And the number, that changes your mortgage payment obviously is going to vary based on how big your loan amount is. If it's a lot less, it's gonna have less of a variance to it. Um, or a lot more, excuse me. But with that $20,000, and if you were to say, I'm going to go, instead of $20,000 lower, I'm going to get a $20,000 credit. You can do so many more things to impact your mortgage payment with that 20,000. You can obviously pay your closing costs and then what's left over, you can pay for a rate buy down, which is going to drop your payment usually significantly more than dropping the price by, an extra 5,000, $10,000. You can buy out mortgage insurance. If you're putting down less than 20%, you can do temporary buy down. Like there's a lot of options that you can use that are going to net you so much more on the monthly side than just dropping the price by say 20 grand. say you drop the price 20 grand. Uh, I shouldn't probably throw out a number just because I don't want to sound like a
Do
complete
it.
idiot
Just
and
do it.
deceiving. But just say, right, I'll just generalize. Say it's going to save you $150 a month. We'll call it 200, right? Just an even number. 200. Um, which sounds great. But then when you look at buying the rate down, your mortgage insurance might be $250 a month. So just buying that out alone saves you more. Plus, then
Yeah,
you buy the rate down. Um, it's going to be obvious, keeping your mortgage balance lower is great, but the true reality is I don't know how many people actually make it to the full term of their loan,
I was
right?
just
So
gonna say that. Yeah,
you're gonna see it. Yes, technically you are, because when you go to sell the house, it's gonna be 20,000. You're gonna get 20,000 less than what you did before. But the amount of money that you saved every month is going to more than likely be greater than that. Um, and also too, like in this environment, we're seeing the most sensitive part of the transaction is monthly payment. When rates were lower,
for sure.
the monthly payment was not the issue, right? It was just, can I get the house? I don't care what
Yeah,
I have to
yeah,
pay. The payment's fine. Now it's more of I want to get my payment to fit a certain box. So for us, you and I both, it's more and more of strategy and structuring because, you know, getting somebody to this purchase price and this payment range is usually achievable, especially if we can get the seller credit to get us there because we'll be pretty close more than likely, but maybe we just need that extra 2 or $300 a month savings to really fit to where they feel comfortable with it. And there's usually a way to be able to do that, but it's going to require money. So if we can get the seller, we can roll that all in, then really what's the difference overall if you pay $20,000 more for the house and get the numbers that you want as opposed to 20,000 less and now you're $300 above what you were really wanting. It's just structuring, it's all putting it all together. It's like the difference between when you're buying something and the shipping fee, is included. You're like, "Sweet, I love that." Then I don't have to pay the $12 in shipping. But then you look at another option and it's the price of that item is lower, but then you have to pay 12 in shipping.
for
It's,
sure.
pick your poison. So it's same
Yeah,
same type of concept.
it's ultimately your goals, and that's what you were just saying is if you have a goal of just paying your mortgage off, you're like, hey, dream home, we can afford this rate, we can do everything, we want to get this paid off in 30 years or 20 years or 15 years, whatever. Then yes, you go the route of asking for a reduction in the price of the home. 90, I don't even want to throw a number out, but pretty
Right.
close to 90 to 99% of people are never going to live in their house for 30 years, generally
Mhm.
speaking. And um, ultimately, their monthly outgo is important. And that's where a closing cost credit can help you significantly versus a price reduction in the home.
Yeah,
So just something to think
absolutely.
about, not to give you financial advice. You got to know what you want and know what you want to do. But if you want your monthly outgo to be cheaper or less expensive, then you generally go the closing cost route. If you want to pay off your mortgage, then you go off the price of the house.
Yeah.
Just a
Well, and
little
and
tidbit of info.
right, and we talked about it too on here that this market is allowing that. So
Yeah,
it's
for
not
sure.
it's, a more active market. You might not be able to get as much from seller credits,
For
seller
sure.
concessions. This market you can. So it allows for a more structure and more flexibility,
For sure.
even if it's not the perfect environment that that everybody's thinking. There's a lot of good pros for a buyer right now because of that. Time on the market, flexibility. Nobody wants to have their house sitting longer. So if they
For
can make a
sure.
deal work, let's make it work.
And ultimately, for the seller, if you're thinking about what it causes the seller, it's the same thing. If the net proceeds of a seller, if they have to give you 20K off the top of the house, that just means 20K less in their pocket. And if they have to give you 20K in closing cost credit, it's 20K off out of their pocket. So to a seller, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter what you choose. It's more personal preference for the buyer. The seller
Yeah,
won't
their
care.
bottom line's the same.
Seller will care, but
Yeah,
the seller nets what the seller nets, whether it's for
sure.
that or the price reduction. So, anyways, well, we've done some complaining, we've done some reminding of
Yeah,
closing costs, and like you said, it is definitely a thing now for buyers to be able to offer those sort of things, ask for uh, rate buy downs or ask for money off the top of the house. So,
yeah,
definitely a topic worth chatting about and reminding people of. So, just always
absolutely.
trying to help. And
Just
that's what my
providing
Facebook
value.
business page was doing before it got suspended.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
was
it was
super you
too
get super
good,
worried when those things happen. I was like, "Dude, did I get a suspended? Did I do something wrong?" You know, you kind of feel
right?
like
Am
you
I
just
gonna
got
go to
a lot
jail?
of trouble, and exactly, and I'm like, then found out I'm impersonating
Start leaning
myself,
on your
so
old law enforcement contacts. "Hey,
it's just because 'cause I'm, like,
how do
so
I get out of
popular,
this?"
like, I'm a famous person that they thought that I was
Yeah,
impersonating someone famous. Maybe that was it. That's what I
probably.
like that's what I'd
It's
like to
it's for your
think.
own protection.
Thanks, Facebook.
Yeah,
Okay, man. Well, it was good talking to you. If you guys haven't
you
already,
too.
go to Venture with Joe and Cody and subscribe on Apple and Spotify. We're on YouTube
That's
as
right.
well. So if you want to see our pretty faces while we talk more about in-depth real estate topics, go over there and subscribe. Um, get in while it's good. Before we become so big that people
Yeah,
won't. You won't be able to reach out to us and ask questions on these things
right.
and comment. So
You can say you were an original subscriber.
yeah, exactly. The OG. Maybe when we become famous, we'll give our
Yeah,
OGs
right.
some prize or something.
Yeah, give 'em a little
Okay, we
special
need to get
treatment.
off this live stream. Anyways, it was good to talk to you, man, and
Alright, you
we
too.
will talk soon.